Gypsy Rose Blanchard to the front of the stage, please and thank you. I told you over a year and a half ago to stop playing with me on this app, right? Do you remember that? I don't like people that take advantage of people, which is what you've done, okay? You took advantage of a man with autism, a low IQ, and other mental health issues to manipulate him to unalive your mom, allegedly, because there's proof that you had your hands in it, okay? But you used him as a vessel. And if, according to you, he was your hero, you have publicly humiliated him, spoken down about him, acted like he was the worst person in the world, but you are the culprit. Because if you were never in the picture, your mother would be alive today. You have lied about your mother having Munchausen by proxy. You have lied about everything else. And I told you over a year and a half ago to stop playing with me because I will end your career behind your lies. And I have accomplished part of it. But now you are trying to shadow ban my account? Girl, you don't know how relentless I am. I am so relentless. I won't stop until I get what I want. And I always get what I want. So you want to play this game? I'm going to post about you every day. I am going to put everything out there again, the same way I did. You are going to learn to stop playing on my top. You're going to learn. I will expose you every single day until I get what I want. I laid off back in June just because I was like, okay, you know what? Let me let the girl live. Girl, those days are done. Stop playing with me. You're going to learn today. I told you already. You will learn today. And if you've made it this far in the video, please like, comment, repost, do all the things down there because I'm going to put Gypsy out there and I'm not going to stop posting since she want to keep playing with me. This is my account and I'm not going to stop. I told you to stop playing with me. You think Audrey's on your neck? Baby, I will expose you. Again, remember, you know the harm that I have caused to your brand, exposing you for exactly who you are. You really want to keep playing with me? Bet. All got to hear this. Gypsy Rose Blanchard compared herself to Jesus the Christ. Let's listen.
I am in no way saying I'm anything like Christ. I try and model Christ. On Sundays, I read my Bible. I try to model the path of Jesus. I really do. But if you think on it, and you just think on it for a second.
We are. That's why we don't believe
it. The Jews crucified Jesus because they didn't believe that he was the Messiah. And if he would have just said, I am not the Messiah, I'm just a mortal man, they wouldn't have crucified him. But he died because he died in his truth. Period. Now let that sit with people.
Just a few days ago, this same girl said this.
People are just kind of like, we're supporting Schmurder right now. Like, then it just kind of dwelled on them.
Because society is jealous of other people's success.
Exactly. So it was never, I don't think it's even about whether they believe what they put out. I think it's all based off of, hey, I have worked my ass off at a job I hate, and I have 3 kids to feed, and I'm barely making it. But this little bitch gets out and has everything handed to her. For Schmurder. It is jealous.
She sits there and says she's speaking her truth. The truth would be that you unalived your mom. You had your hands in it, literally. Why don't you tell the truth about that? Why don't you tell the truth to the media, the public, that your mother never had Munchausen by proxy? She was never diagnosed with that. So you can't diagnose someone that is not alive. Why don't you tell the truth that you used a man with autism, a low IQ, with other mental health issues that was collecting a permanent disability check? Why don't you say that? Because if you were abused, like you try to tell everybody, why would we believe that if you demonize Nick, but you say that he saved you? Which one is it? Because if we also look at the text messages, the times and all of that, we know you did something. There's no way Nick could have did that within 3 minutes. It's very clear. And the fact that, girl, just don't even get me started because this is just the beginning. I'm about to go in.
I am in no way saying I'm anything like Christ. I try and model Christ. On Sundays, I read my Bible. I try to model the path of Jesus. I really do. But if you think on it, and you just think on it for a second. The Jews crucified Jesus because they didn't believe that he was the Messiah. And if he would have just said, I am not the Messiah, I'm just a mortal man, they wouldn't have crucified him. But he died because he died in his truth.
Period.
Now let that sit with people.
I want y'all to keep in mind, this is the woman that used a man that was collecting a permanent disability check to unalive her mom. And we also know that she had her hands in it too, based off of the evidence we've seen. But he had a low IQ, autism, and other mental health issues, collecting permanent disability, and has villainized that man, villainized her mom, when her mom didn't do anything to her other than her grifting. And she grifted to help her. And Gypsy was in the grift too. She was 23 years old. But the fact that she has villainized this woman, when she would never even make any of this money if it wasn't for the fact that she had her mom offed. This is the woman that says she tries to model. Wow. I have no words. I'm flabbergasted, like completely flabbergasted.
Bree was on live last night. I could only get through like 10 minutes of it, but I'm going to play it. And then I'm going to respond, and then I'm never going to talk about her again because she will never get it.
Bringing awareness, like awareness, not about Gypsy's lies, but bringing awareness to the very real abuse that happens, and people fall through the cracks every single day. Bringing awareness to that can actually bring something positive, like a positive change in the world that is actually needed. Like, people knowing whether Gypsy lied or not is not going to change the fucking world. People knowing that Munchausen by proxy is a very real and serious mental illness that has many people from all ages, from infancy to people who are elderly, being abused every single day all around us. And people's main focus is telling everyone that Gypsy's a liar. We're gonna prove that Gypsy's a liar, and then what? If you could even prove that, even though experts have said otherwise, but even if you could prove that, what are you gonna, what's next? Like, what's next? Okay? Like, everybody give what happens next? Gypsy just continues to be attacked more than she already is? Okay. Okay, but how about talking about red flags and what people what people are doing in the process of wanting people to think Gypsy's a liar is actually what they're doing is making people can you be passionate? I'm not saying I can't, but I also think that ignoring Gypsy's case is ignoring a lot of examples of red flags. That's a big problem. Is I think there's so many red flags that people are dismissing and calling it, like, for example, saying like a doctor would never do that. That is closing people's minds to the idea that this actually happens. Doctors actually do things. And not only that, it's not about what a doctor would do. It's about what a parent would do to make a doctor do something. Like, in their own, have a boyfriend, have a normal life. Okay? Let's see. Let's say you need a feeding tube. Even though, Gypsy didn't obviously need a feeding tube because when did she stop needing it and why didn't her mom take it out? But even people with feeding tubes, they can live on their own. Okay, let's think of something else. Gypsy having microcephaly. It didn't affect her in any way. So a person that doesn't have the average size head can live on their own, can have a boyfriend, can have a life. Do you get where I get? So, like, so many people use, and it's a way, and it's like I'm not saying they're trying to do this, but it's the way people use the information is manipulative, because it's like, oh my God, Gypsy Blanchard did have this, and that. Even if she did, I'm just saying, even if she did. Now, I know a lot of the shit she didn't have, like seizures, and I can go on and on. But even if she did, why did she live the life she lived in? Like, why?
So first she's saying that us calling Gypsy a liar is invalidating real Munchausen by proxy survivors. Like, does she hear herself? Okay, you got everyone to know Gypsy's a liar, and then what? What do you mean, and then what? She had her mother killed tells everybody she had all these unnecessary surgeries. That's why Dee Dee had to die. And we just found out that all those surgeries were necessary. That's a slap in the face to actual Munchausen by proxy survivors. What do you mean? Like, Brie even says, like, so what if she needed her salivary glands removed? She lied. She came out of prison. Everybody was cheering her on, giving her money. She was fucking having interviews, acting like a celebrity. She lied. And what's funny is Gypsy thinks that 9 million that follow her are like all of her fans. People followed her when she got out of prison because it was like, oh my god, this girl got out of prison and she's fucking acting like a celebrity. But then they saw her cheat on Ryan. They saw her get pregnant with Ken's baby. They saw her do all these ridiculous shit and they all fucking went away. Notice how it's just us that's paying attention? But they still think they're like these big celebrities and everybody cares. Like, it's so funny. But Gypsy lying is invalidating real Munchausen by proxy survivors. If anything, her story is dangerous for children because they'll be like, oh, I can kill my mom and come out like a celebrity. And Brie's big thing is, why couldn't she live normal then? Like, if she did need her salivary glands taken out, okay, she should have them taken out and then went to prom. The issue is the con. They were doing a con. Her and Dee Dee were conning the world. But then they got their little pink house and they were like, wait, we have a house, we have a nice neighborhood, we can breathe. And so the con kind of died down. But not in a way where Gypsy could just get up from her wheelchair and go on a date. She killed her mother because she wanted a boyfriend. Was Dee Dee abusive? Sure, she made her stay in the con when Gypsy didn't want to anymore. A lot of kids have abusive parents, but that doesn't mean you go and have them murdered. And then you don't come out of prison like a fucking celebrity, making money, writing books, getting a TV show, fucking selling the Shein clothes that you've worn. Like, Gypsy stans will never realize the truth. She's a terrible fucking person. She has invalidated actual Munchausen by proxy survivors. Us proving she's a liar is not going to hurt them, like you think that it is. Like, look at the Turpin kids. There were so many of them, and not one of them was like, we need to have mom and dad murdered. No, they knew to go to the fucking cops. Gypsy killed Dee Dee because she wanted a boyfriend. Dee Dee said no because their con would be ruined. That's why Dee Dee was murdered. She was gonna cut my throat out. That never happened. That appointment was canceled, so what do you have to say about that? Dee Dee Blanchard was not a good mother. Gypsy Rose Blanchard is not a good person. She's not a survivor of Munchausen by proxy. Her mom was malingering by proxy. Gypsy was in on the con. Gypsy killed Dee Dee for dick. Gypsy did not put Munchausen by proxy on the map. Like, on that live, Brie basically fucking admitted, alright, Gypsy's a liar. She lied. She needed those surgeries. So what are you guys gonna do about it now? Well, hopefully her stans will wake the fuck up, but I doubt it if they're anything like you.
Gypsy Rose still holds this grudge against her sister Mia. Gypsy Blanchard is going to be a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader for Halloween. She's even telling us that she'll learn the dance and perform it for us. But I think it goes deeper why she chose this costume. Check this out.
Been very jealous of my sister.
Thanks to some savvy shredditors, we have this picture. We know that GRB herself has named Mia as one of her biggest triggers, mainly because of the relationship that Mia has with their father. Mia is kind of the daddy's girl. GRB has said time and time again how successful she would have been and how her life would be completely different if she were in Mia's shoes. How she would have never had to commit the act. Now, I was thinking back to that pink dress at the beach that Gypsy Rose wore a while back. Very similar pose, similar dress, similar location to Mia's. And we kind of see this theme. Somebody else on the Shreddit page posted GRB doing a live stream, curling her wig and doing her makeup, similar to a live stream that Mia had just done. It's a little alarming that there are these themes still going on with GRB and Mia. It shows that Mia still remains a big trigger for GRB. Christy was actually worried about having GRB live in their home because of this, worried for Mia's safety. All I know is that I would not want to be a trigger for Gypsy Rose Blanchard.
The fact that Gypsy Rose is perfectly healthy now is proof that her mother medically abused her. That's the comment I get the most. Only, she's not perfectly healthy now. And there's proof. First, there's this. Do you see all the medicine in the bag? That was on her show. A healthy person does not have a bag with medicines in it. Let's also not forget this walk, which she said was because of a blister. I'm curious, did she have the same exact blister the day she walked out of Nick's trial? Because, we have that same walk again. Are we also conveniently going to forget this?
You have microdeletion 1q21.1. It's a chromosomal change in which a small piece of chromosome 1 is deleted in each cell. This increases the risk of delayed development, intellectual disability, physical abnormalities, and neurological and psychiatric problems. But
That's not a healthy person. It's a person trying to convince you she is healthy because she knows her mother was getting her treatment for symptoms she had because of her microdeletion 1q21.1.
Y'all, TMZ aired Gypsy Rose Blanchard out. But before I show you that, I want to show you memory lane of what TMZ said a couple of weeks ago versus what they're saying now.
Explain things in a way that's not overwhelming, but enough to where she understands where my life was at that time.
That's Gypsy Rose Blanchard on Nick Viall's podcast, sharing how she plans to explain the heartbreaking situation with her mother to her future daughter.
You know, her mom is obviously not going to be around for when she gives birth to her daughter. She said it's heartbreaking.
She
Right.
arranged her mother's murder. After years of abuse, yes. And it's definitely something Gypsy is still dealing with.
For me, it is heartbreaking because I do, from time to time, think about what could have been. And it makes me sad.
And while Gypsy knows she'll have to explain it to her child one day, in the meantime,
Christy has become more of a mother to me than my own mother was. So Christy is going to be grandma.
Christy is her stepmom.
Christy is her stepmom.
The kid is going to Google at some point and know that her mother murdered her grandmother.
It's going to come out. She should be the one to tell her daughter about it.
This is the problem with freaking Google now when you raise a kid. You can't keep secrets from a kid.
It is true. Like, you'll say, oh, we can't go to Chuck E. Cheese, it's closed. And they'd be like, hey, Siri, is Chuck E. Cheese closed?
It's happened to me.
And Siri's like, nope, Chuck E. Cheese is open.
Yep.
Yay. And then you got to go to Chuck E. Cheese.
Okay, so that was just about 2 to 3 weeks ago. And TMZ went hard this time. They said, you know what, Bookie, we got you. I need y'all to see this. And those of y'all that have seen this already, I just wanted to spin the block because I think it's hella funny.
It's time for Who's Your Daddy? Formerly incarcerated mommy edition with Gypsy Rose.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard posted paternity results and revealed
Fake
who
one,
the father of
but
her
still
baby
nevertheless.
is.
So it's either the boyfriend or the husband. Yes, sirree. Current BF Ken Urker or ex Ryan Anderson, who technically is still her husband. So congrats, Ken, whose probability of paternity, according to the test, is 99.9%.
Ding, ding, ding.
It's like
You have
Lysol,
won an
99.9%.
analyzer.
Why can't they get that last little bugger?
Gypsy told us she was always sure that Ken was the father, but did this paternity test to give her estranged husband Ryan some closure.
And to tell all the online trolls who question the paternity of the
I'm
child that they can essentially
trolls.
suck it. When kids become teenagers, they start getting upset with their parents. So is this a do as I say, not as I do type thing where she tries to explain that? Well, Gypsy got a dude to kill her mom, so yeah, don't do that. But
Don't
this is
do
a
that.
happy story about new life and new beginnings. We're not here to talk about murders. There really is a connection between the Menendez brothers and Gypsy Rose.
Yeah.
Fun fact, I had lunch with somebody that Eric Menendez used to call all the time when he was in jail.
Why?
She was a reporter covering the case. And he would just call her collect a bunch.
I'd be so annoyed if someone called me collect all the time.
I get that from
said,
Suge Knight
hello?
sometimes.
What you doing?
I gotta take it. That's your phone?
Y'all, I just wanted to spin a block on both these clips because I feel like it's such a vast difference from 2-3 weeks ago to what they just put out. And I feel like the fact that they went in like that, they went hard in the yard. Like TMZ, I don't know what opened up your eyes, but I'm loving this. I'm loving it. You ate down. Gypsy, how does it feel to get outed by TMZ? You used a man with autism, a low IQ, and mental health issues that was collecting a permanent disability check. And I sure hope you have the life you deserve, Bookie. Okay. And I am not taking my foot off of the gas. Every day I can out you, I'm finna do it. You heard me? Remember that time a couple of months ago I said, don't play with me? I meant that. And maybe you're just now learning. I can't blink my eyes, and I also can't roll them. My eye might be lazy, but it's not lazy like it's rolling. It's lazy like it don't want to do it. My bad. Sorry for the joke. The jokety joke. But have the day you deserve, y'all. Bye for now. As we all know, Gypsy Rose Blanchard used a man with autism, a low IQ, and other mental health issues that was collecting a permanent disability check at the time to unalive her mom. Now, she has a chromosome disorder, and it's called 1q21.1. This is the chromosome disorder right here. This is the poster child for this chromosome disorder. This is the poster child and Gypsy Rose Blanchard next to each other. Now, the reason why I showed you guys this is because I want to show you guys how she's used every man in her life. Now, this chromosome disorder is basically validates all of the things that her mom had done. All the doctor's appointments, the wheelchair, the feeding tube, all of that. It stems from this chromosome disorder. But she used a disabled man to unalive her mom and basically tell him that she was being abused even though she wasn't. Now, did her mom embellish her situation? Yes. But did she abuse her? No. I want you guys to hear him speak about how he really truly believed that she was being abused.
That was the way I was brought up. I was raised more as a person full of anger, honor, and integrity. Not only that, originally, whether it was my father, my mom, or anyone really in my family, any of my superiors, mainly ones who were older than me, they all basically rose me to have respect, honesty, all those things a noble person is supposed to have. Of course, due to one of my my main mental disability, it's quite easy for me to be deceived, unfortunately. Well, the main reason this all even transpired was basically due to the love that I felt that was equally shared between me and Gypsy Blanchard. However, I've learned that as of late that she may have just been using me, which is sad because I felt it was much more real than that at the time. Actually, as for the illnesses part, I found that out almost shortly after me and her first started talking on Facebook, which went from Christian dating site known as Christian dating for free.com, and we were on there for maybe a few days, and then went from there to next thing you know, Facebook, and it's really weird because I went from just trying to get to know her on one side to being willing to pretty much open myself up like a full open book to where once we got to the other one, and I'm still confused on why that happened that way, but it did. And when it happened that way, I almost instantly learned about the medications. Of course, I learned that not all of them are actually fully what she was actually supposed to be taking. Most of them are all just stuff that her mom was forcing her to take that was by far not needed. I did feel as if Gypsy was going through trauma, whether it was the abuse with medication or the abuse of being forced to be staying in a chair, or even the abuse of her being stuck in a room for so long because her mom would be doing things in a physical abusive way, like chaining her to a bed, or even other physical abuse, like her being beaten with really anything our mom could find. And all this stuff I felt shouldn't transpire. I felt like as if, unfortunately, I didn't think anyone that would come to her call. And if she tried to go to the police, they would have, due to the way that her mom was making her betray to look as, she would have basically looked as like a lunatic that no one would believe due to what her mom would be putting in everyone else's head. So she felt like there was a non-escapable path upon it, and she needed someone to understand her, and be willing to basically risk their life for her.
Now, if you really listen to that, at the end he said, basically, she needed someone that was willing to risk their life for her. Now, obviously, Gypsy Rose served 8 years in prison, but during those 8 years, she was speaking to a man named Ken Urker and also Ryan Anderson. Ken Urker was said to leave her because he felt like he needed to give her time to grow into herself, which I think is a lie. I think he had a boyfriend, and that's why he did it. If you don't agree with me, that's so be it. Anyway, Gypsy Rose ended up getting with Ryan Anderson. She ended up getting eligible or becoming eligible for parole. And he's a school teacher, and obviously it looks good on paper, so she ended up being able to parole. She paroles out to his house, and she leaves him and goes back with the ex, Ken Urker. Doesn't that sound like the same trend, like just constantly using people? And Ryan Anderson said he felt like he could protect her. He wanted to protect her. He wanted to make sure she was okay. She tends to keep going for the same type of guy. The only difference is I don't think Ken Urker is like them. In fact, I think he's quite the opposite. Now, Ken Urker and I actually had a conversation back in April, and he seemed to really ride hard for her at the time, but it didn't sound like a romantic type of relationship. It sounded more of like he wanted to make sure she was good. Well, I think he's the one that she felt like always got away. So she felt like if I get him back, I'm going to make sure I keep him. And I'm going to do whatever I have to do to keep him. And I think she really trapped him on purpose. That's just my opinion. So now she's pregnant by this man, allegedly. Which honestly, I don't know if she's even pregnant. I don't even know if it's really his. I don't know if it's really Ryan Anderson's. Messing with her is like mental gymnastics because she lies so much, she changed everything up so much that you don't know what to believe when it comes to her, really, to be honest. But again, she used another man, Ken Urker. But the only thing is, he's using her too because I believe he's getting a check. I don't know, y'all, but it just shows a common trend that she uses everyone. And look, when you listen to Nicholas Gaujon earlier on in this video, he sounds like something's wrong. But he is sitting in prison for life and she's not. She's out here gallivanting, just being a troll. What is really going on with this world? What are we saying is acceptable? I feel like we have normalized this, which is why she's all over the media. We've normalized this. We ourselves have normalized this. This is why we are seeing her all over the place. And as a society, I think it really tells you where we're at. And the fact that she feels so brave to even just go on a live and villainize everybody and basically say, I could do whatever I want to do, but you need to grow up. I don't know, y'all. Something about this whole thing just rubs me so wrong. And I know she's being exposed, but it just seems like it's not happening fast enough. What are your thoughts? Drop your thoughts down below. And you guys have a great night. Bye-bye for now.
Now listen up. I'm not here to inspire nobody. I'm here till your teacher gets back from her gallbladder surgery. Right, Nancy, did you want me to get rid of your head lice? No? That's okay, Suge. I probably got it too. Right, is everybody here? Let's get started. Now, does anybody know who they say discovered America? Christopher Columbus, right. Now, they like to paint him as a hero, but I'm going to put it to you straight. If you show up uninvited and claim the place is yours, hon, that's not discovery. That's trespassing. Right, so if you write trespassing on your pop quiz, I'll give you credit for that. Braden, you got a question, hon? What's an ounce? Oh, hell, your mommy's still dating that salesman, ain't she? Okay, tell her it's 28 grams, break it down to eighths. She'll know what I'm talking about, hon. Right, now moving right along, we're fixing to learn some percentages. Right, little Johnny, listen up. You might need this information later on in life. Right. Now, say I get arrested again for driving with no license, right? And the judge sets my bond for $5,000. Okay? Now, the bail bondsman ain't gonna charge you but 10% of that. You know how to find the percent? You go to the tens place, 10%, knock off one of the zeros, and there you got $500. You take that down to the Bell's bondsman, that's 10%, 90% chance I'll be back in there by Friday. You following me? Next up, we got spelling. The first word is child support. Can anybody use that in a sentence?
My daddy don't pay a lick of child support.
Okay, hell, that's enough spelling for today. Right, see me after class, son. I think I know your daddy. Right, mystery meat Monday. Oh, hell yeah, we fixing to go to lunch. Right, that smell on Braden's book bag done gave me the munchies. It's time to wrap up today. And whoever told your teacher I let you watch Jerry Springer last time, better keep my name out their mouth. Bye, little brats. I hope I don't see none of y'all on America's Most Wanted in a few years.